Good evening, Internet. Welcome to another edition of Eric's Corner with the word of the not so wise. I did a blurb on the AR-15 and some kind of guns in general. Talked a little about gun safety and gun function and so on and so forth, but I want to do a specific video about actual gun safety. A while ago, I wrote up 10 commandments of gun safety, and of course, there's a whole lot more of them. This is something I'm going to make my sons memorize before I buy them their first gun, or preferably have them buy their own first gun. I definitely not going to have it be like a 22 rifle. 22s are one of the most dangerous and deadly guns because people don't treat them like they're a real gun. They treat them like they're a BB gun, and it's just going to cause a welt. Well, no, it is a more than capable of killing you firearm, and they can enter like through your ribs and bounce off of bones, and then they make it real hard for a surgeon to find the slug. So at least a 410 shotgun is my recommendation. I think my first gun was a 22 actually, but I'd shot enough guns by the point. But I'm gonna go ahead and just run through them, and I'll turn back and discuss them. Rule number 1: guns are not toys. Guns are never unloaded. Always be cognizant of where it is pointed. Always keep pointed in a safe direction. Don't shoot anything you don't intend to eat. In self-defense, shoot to kill. In self-defense, be prepared for nightmares. You can never take a bullet back. Keep safety on. Never have a round chambered in the house. Obviously, there's a whole lot more. These aren't in any particular of what's the most important. I mean, I feel like them not being toys and never being unloaded are essentially the most important. But feel free to make up your own 10 commandments, write them down, put them in whatever order you want. I don't give a shit. But guns are not toys. Pretty self-explanatory. I see people on TikTok. One dude points it at his head, and he pulled the slack out of the trigger and goes, psh, and he tried. I don't remember if it had a magazine in it or not. I wasn't paying attention because I was so blown away at what he did next. He racked the slide back, and a bullet came out. Live round. So he almost just wasted himself for Facebook clout, just being a jackass with a firearm. One dude I saw point a pistol at his dick, knowing it was loaded, and he's pulling the slack out. So in the trigger of a pistol, you got what's called slack. You can pull it back a little. There's a little bit of slop in it, basically. And shot himself in the dick. I mean, okay, fine, good. Hopefully he won't have any kids, and hopefully he hasn't already. So guns are always loaded. Always pay attention to where they're pointed. That should be your number one thing when handling a firearm. Always keep it pointing in a safe direction. I feel like that's a little bit redundant, but it's not, because they kind of go hand in hand. But if it's always pointed in a safe direction, you don't have to focus on it quite so much. You carry a rifle, you always have it pointed toward the sky or toward the ground. But then again, you're walking, you don't want to point it at your foot, which sweep one of your feet. Don't shoot anything you don't intend to eat. Obviously, I'm talking about more in the hunting, not just killing animals for sport, which that's kind of up to you. I mean, it kind of falls in the tactical versus the sport. I mean, I kind of mixed them in there a little bit, which, my children, our purposes, they will be hunting, so that's why I put that there. Self-defense, shoot to kill. Take a gun safety class. Your instructors will explain this. Look up some YouTube videos. I'll see if I can find a good one and put in the comments if you want. In self-defense, be prepared for nightmares. If you have to shoot somebody in self-defense, your life will change. You will have nightmares. You will have a degree of post-traumatic stress. And I mean, that's something you just kind of got to brace yourself for if you are going to carry a gun. You can never take a bullet back. Once it leaves the muzzle, it's out of there forever. So it's just like anything. Accidents happen, and you can't undo them. Always keep safety on. Never have a round chambered in the house. I mean, also kind of self-explanatory. So yeah, that's my 10 commandments of gun safety. And again, there's a whole lot more. The list is just pretty much infinite. But picking up a gun, make sure, kind of a subcategory of this, if you're going to carry a weapon in self-defense, learn to use it. You need to take tactical weapons training. I cannot stress this enough. I've been saying it for a lot of years. You picking up a gun, you ain't John Wick. I mean, have you watched Keanu Reeves train for that theatrical role? He looks like a total badass. So make sure you know what you're doing. I mean, I personally feel the average person has no business carrying a firearm, because you're just possibly going to make a situation worse or whatever. I mean, I don't carry a pistol. I have no reason to. I live in fucking Anchor Point, Alaska. Just not really that much reason to. So anyway, I hope you like my video. Shoot me some feedback. Just like I tell you a lot of times, I'd like to hear what you have to say on my 10 Commandments here. So thank you for joining me. Have a good night.